Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why bodybuilders feel the need to use machines sometimes over free weights, which is a lot of times counterintuitive to what a lot of natural bodybuilders learn, because we're like, hey, we want to stimulate our entire system, we want to work as many different muscles at once to stimulate our own endocrine systems. So aren't machines counterintuitive in a certain way? Aren't they counterproductive, right? So I would say that although I'm 100% on board with stimulating the entire body through heavy weights, maybe it's heavy bent over rows or heavy squats or whatever compound lift you can think of where you include a lot of lower back and hip and the legs and the upper back and whatever, I'm on board with doing that. But there are certain times that you will find that using a machine might be to your advantage. And what I mean by this is that sometimes you can burn out the stabilizer muscles or the muscles which stabilize the body, because I had some know-it-all guy say, hey, there's no such thing as a stabilizer muscle. Well, yeah, I guess that's true, just muscles contract, but there's certain muscles that contract and their contraction is very important for the stabilization of the joint. Duh, so that's why I call them stabilizer muscles. But yes, do they do other things? Yes, they do. A lot of times they do, you know, like rotator cuff, they rotate the arm inwards or outwards or whatever, but they also isometrically contract to keep the shoulder in the joint. So on that note, when some of those muscles are fatigued or exhausted, that's not always aligning with the major muscle group or the prime mover exhausted. All right. See, I like this machine because it keeps tension on the chest, helps stabilize, and yeah, I don't know, it's just a good pumper, just something different. And yeah, I've done a lot of dumbbells and barbells in my time, but so it's nice to lay back and relax and just get on a machine, you know what I'm saying? There you go. It's relaxing. Not really. It's not really relaxing. So say your delts, right? Say your delts are not hitting exhaustion, but your rotator cuff muscles are hitting exhaustion. Or maybe your neck muscles. You know, sometimes your neck is stabilizing the shoulder too. Maybe you have a torn labrum like I do, and the neck sometimes comes in a little bit too much. And in these instances, sometimes a machine can assist you with hitting the prime movers, but not necessarily hitting the stabilizers or the neck, or maybe a different muscle group that you don't want to hit failure first because it's already beaten to death. You don't need to beat it anymore, but what you want to do is beat the main muscle group up. So for this reason, there will be times where you find machines in the gym that actually hit your prime mover better than the free weights. This does happen. And I remember talking to a bodybuilder a long time ago, and I was, you know, pretty stuck on my ways. This is like 20-something years ago, whatever. And he's like saying, no, I like machines better, because he goes, why do I want to stand on a ball and lift a weight when, you know, it's the balancing that becomes the weak link, not the prime mover. And I'm a bodybuilder. I'm trying to get those prime mover muscles bigger and stronger. I'm not trying to say balance is my weak link. I'm trying to say the prime mover is the weak link. So although I agree with doing free weights, and I'm not saying for you to quit those, I am saying that it is great for you to incorporate a machine that is stabilized from time to time in your training, like I'm doing with some of my bench presses right now, whether it's incline, whether it's hammer strength, whether it's flat. The secret is, though, to make sure you get cat hair gains. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have enough cat hair on your shirt, I mean, I've talked about this over and over again, but I'm surprised at how many people are not getting this. Cat hair is the secret 100%. You want to be elite as a natural bodybuilder, elite, you need cat hair. He-Man has Battle Cat. You can see Battle Cat in the background. Battle Cat, you in here? Yeah, Battle Cat. Well, maybe he's not here. Is Battle Cat there? I don't think he's there. Shit. So I can't go lower than that because the machine and the other step down for the adjustment is too low. So I'm stuck with that, but it still works pretty good. It's about where I want it anyway. you do find that you can get a deeper burn in certain parts of the body because you're not fighting the weight, you're not balancing back and forth, you're not struggling to make sure that all the stabilizers are firing at all times. Now, assuming that you're doing free weights once in a while, this is not going to be a problem. It's not going to create a huge imbalance, right? So you don't need to be scared of this. It's not like you're going to be like, oh, I'm so imbalanced, look at me, I'm so huge and I can't stabilize myself, I can't even stand up, I'm so big, you know, that kind of crap, you know, because you know, sometimes people talk like that. So yeah, I mean, another example of this would be Smith machine lunges. I talked about this. You can do lunges on a Smith machine or even squats. It's not the same movement as doing a free weight, but it will hit certain muscle groups harder than the free weight version. So some cable machines are great to use from time to time as well. And you will notice, just because with using cables, it is a form of a machine, but when you use a cable, you can actually hit the muscle from a different angle of attack, and therefore you're not necessarily struggling to make sure the muscle you want to hit is being hit, because a lot of times free weights are dominated by the force of gravity, which means that the force is going up and down. That's where the main force is. It's going straight down. So depending on how you're standing, how you're moving, what position you're in, will depend on where you're feeling that in the muscle group. But if you're using a machine, you're not as much dominated by the forces of gravity in the same way, because the machines have cambers and they have cables and whatever, and they can sometimes hit that muscle group from a different angle that is not necessarily easy to get into when you're using free weights. So now I'm going to show you a bicep curl that I do, because I didn't have this particular cable machine at the other gym I was at. So this machine's awesome though, I really like it. I mean, it makes a bit of noise when I'm clanging around or whatever, when I'm using two separate ropes, but you'll see what I'm doing and you'll see why I'm doing it. It really mimics the incline curl, but takes a little bit of the variable tension out of it, because I'm using constant tension based on the cables. So it doesn't mean I won't do incline dumbbells. Of course I'm going to do incline dumbbells, I'll do the free weights and stuff like that, but I do like the smooth tension that goes with this type of exercise using cables on a machine. Just watch what I'm doing, just watch. And I start off with lightweight just to warm up, but it's not really a heavyweight movement anyway, so but you notice you're always getting a constant tension in the stretched position. You see there's still tension on the arm here. Even if the arm, I keep the arm slightly bent. Yeah, I don't lock it out like this. I don't find that useful at all. So I keep the arm bent to keep the tension on the bicep the entire time, right? Now some of you guys might be wondering why I'm not going forward like this. When I go forward, I find the tension leaves the bicep, so. So there's no point in me bringing the elbows forward if I find the tension's leaving the biceps, and that's because of the angle of attack of the tension, right? So there you go, there's your answer. Mountain. So yeah, that's one thing that I've found, and you know, sometimes I'll use leg presses as well for legs because my lower back is tight or it's just fatigued from doing a lot of squats or Romanian deadlifts. And then I jump on a leg press machine and then I can push those legs deep into failure without worrying about my back hitting failure first. So in that way, machines can really add to your gains. They don't work against you. So don't get too obsessed with doing just all free weights or all machines. It's sometimes blending them both is a really effective way to gain more muscle mass and also to change things up and to make it more of an enthusiastic process for you to go to the gym. Mountain. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. And thanks to Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.